Welcome back to FPL Spad, your best place to find FPL content for the 23-24 season. My name is Spad. Today, I'm going to share with you my top differentials for Game Week 10. A lot of people are playing their wildcard this game week, so I expect people to bring in some good players and some good differentials. And I'm going to share with you my top differentials for Game Week 10. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel for future FPL content. Please share it with your friends and help me reach 100 subscribers by the end of the month. That would be a great help and will be much appreciated. Now let me show you the top differentials for this game week. So for the top differentials for game week 10, the first one up is a defender in Timiskas for Liverpool. His price has gone up to 4.5 million as he's now going to be the first choice left back for Liverpool as Robertson is out with a shoulder injury. He has to get surgery, so he's going to be out for at least 10 weeks. So Timiskas will be playing game in, game out for Liverpool and will be a great differential for the price that he is and for the club he plays for at 4.5 million. Liverpool have great fixtures in the next 6. The only hard game they have in there is Man City away. You could rotate for that game. I probably will if you have him in your team. He's had one full game now. He's had one appearance before this. So we don't have great sample data for him at the moment. But differential, because he's a Liverpool defender at 4.5 million. And his ownership is only at 3.3%. So in my opinion, a good differential defender to have in your wildcard team. Next up, for another defender, we have Koke. He didn't have the best game week last week, but that was against Aston Villa. I expected a hard game for them. I didn't expect them to concede 4 goals, but they did, and he made 0 points. But in my opinion, he's still a great differential as he has got assists in the past few game weeks, and the games that they got coming up are much easier than what they had the last game week. Everton at home, Brentford away, Nottingham Forest at home, Burnley away, Crystal Palace at home, and then Tottenham away, which is going to be a hard game. But the first 5 games are great fixtures for Koke to have and him to be able to get some assists in those games. So in my opinion, a good differential. His ownership is really low at 2.8%. Next up, we have Gabriel Martinelli. Didn't produce any returns last game week. He was differential for me last week as well. But in my opinion, that was against Chelsea away, which is a hard game. But the games that were coming up, Sheffield at home, I expect him to get some returns in those games. Newcastle away will be a hard game. Burnley at home, Brentford away, Wolves at home, Luton away. There are some good sale fixtures, and if you can't afford Saka, Martinelli will be a great option to have as another differential at 7.7 million. He's only owned by 4.6% of people, and he is quality. We all know his ability is there. He's pulled the numbers out last year as well, and he can pull the numbers out again this year. So in my opinion, a great midfielder that is a great differential as well, and that plays for one of the top teams in the Premier League. The next midfielder is going to be Anthony Gordon. He was a differential for me last week as well, and he produced by getting a goal and some bonus points. In my opinion, Newcastle do have some good fixtures and some bad fixtures, but you got to take the positives with the negatives. Because in my opinion, Newcastle are in form right now, especially after the bad patch they had at the start of the season. They're looking like they're in great form, where everyone in their team is putting together and producing results. So, and his price is at 5.6 million, which is very cheap for an attacking midfielder in a Newcastle team that will be looking to get top 4 football next year. His ownership is still low at 6.9%. Not that low, but low enough to be a differential in your team. Next up, we have Cole Palmer, who's a differential, but also a gamble in my opinion. Reason being, his games upcoming are hard. The next game's easy against Brentford. Not easy, it's still a derby game, but then they've got Tottenham away, Man City at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home, the United away. Those are some hard games coming up for Chelsea. The good thing about Cole Palmer is he's on penalties, as he has taken 2 now in back-to-back games with top players on the pitch at the time as well. So that is a good bonus to have in him. And he's playing ST at the moment with Jackson on the bench. And he's a midfielder at 4.9 million, which is a bargain in my opinion. And his ownership is at low at 1.5%. And that's only jumped up that much in this last game week, because I think he was below 1 before that. So in my opinion, he is a differential, but he's also a gamble on the fixture list that he has. So the next differential we have is Helan. In my opinion, he is a must-buy in your team if you think Wolves are going to produce results against hard teams and easy teams. They've got another hard team coming up, Newcastle at home. They beat Man City at home, so he can get some points there as well. Sheffield United away, then Tottenham at home, Fulham away, then Arsenal away, which is going to be a hard game, and then Burnley at home. Reason being, he's differential. Very low percentage of ownership from him, as a lot of people have chosen to go with Neto instead. They both produced the same amount of points last game week, 4. Both got an assist and both got yellow carded, which was not good. Helan is now on 3 yellow cards and Neto on 1. Neto is not differential no more because his ownership has gone over 10% now. So he stops being a differential at that point. Because more people own him, he's not differential no more. So Helan is another option that plays on the left and occasionally as an ST, depending on the game they're playing. So in my opinion, a good differential to have in your team. Next up, we have Douglas Luiz. He had a big haul last game week, and a hell of a lot of people have started to bring him in to their teams already. His ownership has jumped as well. His price has jumped, and the games that are coming up are pretty good, looking in his favour. Luton at home is a big game where I expect him to make points. The only downside with Douglas Luiz is the reason why I didn't bring him in last week. He was differential for me last week. The reason why I didn't bring him in is because he's on 4 yellow cards and he's 1 game away from a suspension. I thought he'd get the yellow card in the last game week and not be available for the Luton game. I was wrong. I should have brought him in instead. But the player I was going to bring him in for produced points as well in Bomo. So not much of a loss unless I look to take out someone else. But I was not gonna. So for the coming game weeks, he is a big differential. His price has already gone up. And I expect a lot of people to start bringing him in. Just the norm goes, when you score big points, the crowd follows. But in this case, they might be right. Next up, we have Antonio. His price has gone down to 5.8 million because people don't think he's going to produce. It is a big differential in my opinion. Reason being, low ownership and the fixture list West Ham have, where he's capable of getting goals. Because Bowen cannot get the goals every game week for West Ham. Antonio has to chip in at some point, and he should really fast with the fixture list that they've got coming up. I know they've got European football as well, but I expect Moyes to do some rotation, and Antonio starting in the Prem games a lot more, and hopefully getting some assists and goals. So in my opinion, a decent differential to have in your team if you spent too much money in other parts of your team and you need to cut down the cost for your attack. Because at the moment, most people have Watkins in their team, Alvarez and Haaland. So it's very hard to replace them with Antonio. So only reason if you're going in for Antonio, if other parts of your team in your midfield and defense are stacked up with high priced players and you need to save some money on your attack, Antonio is your man. So that is it for the differentials for this game week. There were 8 players I chose. In my opinion, at least 4 of them are must buy in your team to balance it out. Tebescas, because he's a Liverpool player at 4.5 million, defender, is a bargain. Douglas Luiz is another one. Besides his suspension, looking like he will score a lot of points in the coming game weeks. And the big bonus for him is he's on penalties. And he's producing at the moment a good run of form. And Martinelli as well, to get a 7.7 midfielder that's guaranteed going to be starting whenever he's fit for Arsenal. is a good buy, in my opinion. At the same time, being a differential is a bonus, as if he scores points, you'll move up the ranks very fast. And to partner them up, a Gordon could be good. The fixture list is not that bad, but he does play a pivotal role for Newcastle in their team. So in my opinion, another good differential. So that's it for the top differentials for Game Week 10. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. I got some useful tips for your wildcards or for just transfers that you're looking to do for Game Week 10. And move up those ranks fast as possible, because the best way to do that is through differentials that produce results. If you enjoyed my content, please like and subscribe to my channel for future FPL content. Please share it with your families and friends to help me grow past 100 subscribers for future by end of November. That'd be a great help and much appreciated. Thank you again for watching me. I'll see you next time. See ya!